On Friday, October 24, 2025, the skies over the Sea of Japan became a stage for a tense military encounter. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force had to act quickly, scrambling its fighter jets to intercept a formation of approaching Russian military aircraft. This wasn't a casual flyby, it was a powerful display of military hardware. The Russian group included two Tupolev Tu-95 strategic bombers, massive planes capable of carrying nuclear weapons, instantly raising the stakes. Accompanying these giants were two Sukhoi Su-35 fighter jets, which are highly maneuverable and designed to protect the larger, slower bombers from any potential threats they might encounter on their mission. The flight path of these Russian aircraft was a clear cause for alarm for Japanese defense officials. The formation flew over the Sea of Japan, heading directly towards Japan's coastline. They came particularly close to Sado Island, a significant landmass off the coast of Honshu, Japan's main island. Although the planes never actually crossed into Japan's sovereign airspace, their proximity was deeply concerning. After their close approach, the formation veered north, continuing its patrol. This calculated route demonstrated Russia's ability to project power right up to the edge of Japanese territory, testing the reaction times and resolve of the Japanese military forces on high alert. Just a day later, on Saturday, October 25th, the situation repeated itself, though with a different type of aircraft. This time, Japanese jets were scrambled to intercept a single Russian Ilyushin Il-20. This plane is not a bomber but a reconnaissance aircraft, essentially a flying spy platform packed with advanced sensors and electronic intelligence equipment. Its mission is to gather information about an adversary's military capabilities, such as radar installations and communications. The Il-20 flew south along a similar route, passing off the coasts of Hokkaido and Honshu, gathering data and mapping out the defenses in this strategically vital region. These flights were not isolated incidents but part of a larger, more worrying pattern. Japan's defense minister, Shinjiro Koizumi, pointed out that Russia conducts military operations near Japan on an almost daily basis. However, the use of nuclear-capable Tu-95 bombers represents a significant escalation in the nature of these patrols. These aircraft, often called Bears by NATO, are a holdover from the Cold War era, yet they have been continuously updated. Their presence serves as a stark and powerful reminder of Russia's strategic nuclear capabilities and its willingness to display them in a region already fraught with geopolitical tension and complex security challenges. Japan's response to the Russian flights was immediate and professional, showcasing the readiness of its air defense network. The moment the approaching Russian aircraft were detected by ground-based radar systems, the Japan Air Self-Defense Force initiated a scramble. This military term means that fighter jets, kept on constant standby, are launched within minutes to intercept and identify unknown or potentially hostile aircraft. These pilots fly alongside the foreign planes, visually confirming their type and armament, and escorting them until they move away from the sensitive area. It is a critical, non-violent procedure designed to assert sovereignty and prevent any unwelcome surprises. The timing of these provocations was particularly significant. The incident with the Tu-95 bombers on October 24th occurred just hours after Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, delivered her first major policy speech. In her address to the parliament, she had explicitly pledged to accelerate Japan's defense buildup, a policy shift that has been gaining momentum for several years. She cited the growing military activities of Russia, as well as China and North Korea, as a serious concern for Japan's national security. The Russian flight, therefore, felt like a direct and immediate challenge to her new government's stated intentions. In her speech, Prime Minister Takaichi outlined a vision for a more robust and proactive Japanese military. This is a significant change for a country whose post-World War II constitution has traditionally limited its military to purely defensive roles. The increasing unpredictability of the regional security environment, however, has pushed leaders to reconsider this stance. The presence of roughly 60,000 U.S. troops in Japan, along with the recent deployment of American B-1B bombers, underscores the cooperative defense posture, but Tokyo is increasingly focused on strengthening its own independent capabilities to deter aggression from its powerful neighbors. Russia's official explanation for the bomber flight was characteristically dismissive of Japan's concerns. The Russian Defense Ministry issued a statement claiming the flight was a routine, scheduled patrol conducted over the neutral waters of the Sea of Japan. They insisted the entire 11-hour mission was carried out in strict accordance with international laws governing airspace and that no borders were violated. While technically true, this explanation deliberately ignores the political and military message sent by flying nuclear-capable bombers so close to another nation's shores, a tactic widely seen as a form of strategic intimidation and psychological pressure. The Russian military activity near Japan was not an isolated event on the world stage. It mirrored a similar incident that occurred just one day earlier on the other side of the Eurasian landmass. On Thursday, October 23rd, NATO jets were forced to scramble in response to a Russian airspace violation over the Baltic Sea. In that event, a Russian Su-30 fighter jet and an Il-78 refueling tanker, flying from the heavily militarized Russian enclave of Kaliningrad, briefly but clearly entered the sovereign airspace of Lithuania. The incursion, though it only lasted for about 18 seconds, was a direct breach of international law. Lithuania's reaction was swift and furious. President Gitanas Nausėda condemned the act as a blatant breach of his country's sovereignty and a deliberate provocation. Unlike the flights near Japan, which remained in international airspace, this was a direct physical trespass. In response, Spanish Eurofighter Typhoon jets, part of NATO's Baltic air policing mission stationed at Šiauliai Air Base, were launched to intercept the Russian aircraft. Lithuania also formally summoned Russia's top diplomat to lodge a strong protest and informed its allies in NATO and the European Union about the violation, highlighting the persistent threat Russia poses to its neighbors. Predictably, Moscow's response to the Lithuanian incident was a flat denial. The Russian government claimed its planes had not entered Lithuanian airspace at all, directly contradicting the data from NATO's sophisticated tracking systems. This pattern of provocative action followed by a blanket denial is a classic Russian tactic. It is designed to create confusion, sow doubt among allies, and test the response times and political will of its opponents. By constantly pushing the boundaries and then denying they have done so, Russia aims to normalize its aggressive military posture and desensitize the international community to its actions. Comparing the events in Lithuania and Japan reveals a coordinated global strategy. In both the Baltic and Pacific regions, Russia is using its air force to probe defenses, intimidate neighbors, and signal its military reach. Whether it is a direct airspace violation in Europe or a close approach with strategic bombers in Asia, the goal is the same: to challenge the existing security order and remind the world of its status as a major military power. These actions force nations like Lithuania and Japan, as well as alliances like NATO, to remain on constant alert and invest heavily in their defense, diverting resources and creating a sustained state of tension. These seemingly minor military encounters are far more than simple cat-and-mouse games in the sky. They are significant moves on a global chessboard with serious implications. For Japan, these flights serve as a powerful justification for its ongoing military modernization. The nation's 2025 Defense White Paper had already highlighted increased Russian military deployments in its Far East territories and expressed deep concern over the growing strategic partnership between Russia and China. When Russian bombers appear off your coast, these theoretical concerns suddenly become very real, making it easier for leaders like Prime Minister Takaichi to gain public support for increased defense spending. The events also reinforce the importance of international alliances. Japan's security is intrinsically linked to its treaty with the United States. The presence of American forces and hardware in Japan is intended to deter exactly this kind of aggression. Similarly, the incident in Lithuania triggered an immediate response from NATO, demonstrating the principle of collective defense. These Russian actions have the effect of strengthening, not weakening, these security partnerships. They remind member states why such alliances were formed in the first place and encourage deeper cooperation on intelligence sharing, joint military exercises, and coordinated defense strategies against a common and persistent threat. Furthermore, these flights are a form of communication, sending a clear message not only to Japan and Lithuania, but to the entire world. In the context of the ongoing war in Ukraine, Russia is determined to show that its military is not depleted or solely focused on one front. By conducting long-range bomber patrols in the Pacific and probing NATO airspace in the Baltics, Moscow signals that it retains the capability and the will to challenge Western interests across the globe. It is a display of defiance, aimed at projecting an image of strength and preventing what it perceives as its strategic encirclement by hostile powers. Ultimately, these incidents highlight a dangerous and unstable new era in global security. The risk of miscalculation is ever present. A technical malfunction, a pilot error, or a misunderstanding during a tense aerial interception could quickly escalate from a routine scramble into a major international crisis. For countries on the front lines like Japan and Lithuania, maintaining a strong and credible defense is not a choice but a necessity for survival. These patrols are a constant, nerve-wracking test of their readiness and resolve, reminding everyone that in an unpredictable world, peace and stability can never be taken for granted.